you ever just had this deep passion for something that you just genuinely love doing? Like, you could see yourself doing this for the rest of your life. Yeah, you still have days where you don't feel like doing it. Like, you have to muster up all your energy inside just to do that thing that you genuinely love doing it. And you also know what I mean if you've experienced this, when you showed up on those days where you don't feel like doing that thing. Because those are just tests. This is a true spiritual war. We live in a world where our flesh is weak. Our flesh is always going to be raging war with the spirit. There's a reason why there's so many temptations. Everybody has their own temptations. But the thing is that delayed gratification. Because you know that if I don't show up, what does that do for me? How does me not showing up get me closer to where I need to be? What else am I gonna do? Am I just gonna sit here, especially being delivered, right? You've ever been delivered from a sin and delivered from something where you just know, like, yo, that sin had you in so much bondage, and you know the torment, you know that feeling that you had, and God delivered you from it. And then you have those moments of when you start thinking and those thoughts come back up, when you start being lazy and get it back into it, it's like, yo, if I fell back into that would be the worst feeling ever. I would rather get up and just do the thing than to, oh no, it was kind of hot. I would rather just get up and do the thing than to go back to that. And also, it gets to the point, right? Because I've observed this within myself, and I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful that God started my business. But it's just so beautiful how obedience can really take you so many places. Before I started my business, I would have a lot of people that would, because I was only seeing one side of things, because that's all I was around. Because on social media is fake. Social media always just shows perfection. But to actually be in contact with people and witness it with others and actually have conversations with others who are really truly trying to level up and really trying to change, that was so rare for me. And I was super heavy, and I still am, but I was super heavy into calisthenics at the time, and handstands and all these skills, great physique, and trading as well. And I would have those people that came to me. It's like, yo, Sir, like, put me on game with the fitness stuff. Like, help me out with the fitness, help me out with the trading. And I'm giving my all, right? I'm giving my all. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm really trying to help these people out. No cost, nothing. Just really trying to help these people out and put these people on game. Because I see and I know how much getting in shape and working on my mental and trading, how much it has changed my life. And I'm like, yo, I would love to see that same thing for you and you prosper in your own way. And I've observed this. Those people didn't take it serious. They would hit me up and, yeah, I want to get into it. And then, boom, a week or two later, fall off. Can't stay consistent. And then when I started my business, I didn't start it. God brought these people to me. When God brought these people to me, these people were people that actually genuinely really wanted to change. These people did not care about how much I charged. They did not, price tag wasn't a thing. They saw something in me and they truly, really wanted to change. And it's like, yo, this is what you're doing. I truly, really want your help. I'm seeking out. Imagine how much you have to drop all of your pride to do that. Imagine how much it takes for somebody to, especially in this prideful world that we live in, for somebody to be humble, to come to somebody and say, like, yo, I truly, really want to change. I really want to take this serious. You name the cost and I'm going to pay it. And spending that time, and still to this day, as I spend time with these people, those people, I've noticed the same thing within them and within myself, that we shared a lot in common. It's, you know what to do. It's just a matter of doing it long enough to see the results. And I know what to do. I just can't keep doing it. And that's where I came in. And I've noticed that and observed that, because they help me grow as well. Me bettering myself is only going to allow me to be a better servant to the Most High, and is going to be allow me to be better to help that specific person, whoever it is. Because what I've noticed in that beginning stages, when we first start, everything is all consistent, doing good, everything. And then it would get to that point, I would notice this weeks later, a couple of weeks, that's when it's, I fell short again. And the thing about the difference between those people, and I've noticed this, the difference between those people, because we all fall short, but the difference between those and why they made the success that they have now and why they're living the life that they are now is because when they fell short, they acknowledged it, took accountability, and got back up. That was the number one thing. They will fall, yep, I messed up, I did what I wasn't supposed to do, I blew another account, and they was honest and being real with me. And that's why I was there, to be that accountability, have that person there. So like, okay, what did you do? What was the thing that caused you to blow that account? Boom, this happened in their life. Because understanding that there's a time and a season under the sun for every single thing. I've noticed people came to me during different seasons of their life. People came to me during seasons where they were at their lowest, and it's like, y'all really got to get this out. There were seasons I'll never forget. One of the first people, he had a kid on the way, and it was like 6 months out, and he was just super locked in. He took it so serious. And when his child came, because he put in that work, after his child came, because he prepared himself for that, it was a lot smoother for him. Being consistent was a lot smoother because he put in that work during those hard times before his child come. Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to be wrong, but that was like his first kid. And I could only imagine having your first child on the way, and this is your first time being a father. You're going to go all in, and then you have that child, and you make sure they're good. And now that that child is there, you just want to lock in and keep going even more. Now that's a different season of his life. Now that season, it was before the child came. Now this is the season the child, now you actually see the child every day. Now it's a different season. And with each seasons comes different challenges. Because think about during the spring, right? During the spring, you have those days where the sun is beautiful, flowers are blooming, air feels amazing, sky looks absolutely beautiful. Then you have those days, you can't really see it right now. The sun isn't very, very beautiful, and it's not raining. It's just it's like a overcast, forecast, whatever you want to call it. It's like cloudy. But then during that same spring season, there could be times where it's like thunderstorms, raining. Like a few days ago, it was like raining super heavy. When the season is when the sun is beautiful, flowers is blooming and everything, it's easy to show up. It's easy to want to do the thing. It's when it starts to rain and you don't feel like doing it. It's when it starts to rain, it's raining outside, and usually for me, prime example right now, and I'm going to share this and document it. This is why I wanted to make this video. I really didn't feel like coming to train today. It looks like it may rain, and if it does, I usually train outside at the park. And I really was like, I do not want to train today. I just really didn't want to train today. I trained yesterday, and I absolutely loved it and amazing. And today I didn't want to train. I've built my own system for this. I always put myself in that mindset of, okay, you can either continue to lay here and this is the result that's going to happen, versus you can get up and actually go do the thing, and this is the result that you get here. Not just physically, but more mentally and spiritually. I'm like, yo, that's another level up. That is another level up for me to push past doing something that I don't feel like doing. Just get up and go do the thing in the first place. Today will be what's today? Yesterday was intense. Today's gonna be volume focused day, on a day where I don't feel like doing it. I'm gonna do I always do 100. I'm gonna level up so I can increase my strength. Instead of doing 100 of everything, I'm going to up it up some more. I'm gonna do 110. I'm gonna do 110. Take baby steps. I'm not just about to jump from 100 to 200. That's foolish. I'm gonna do 110 because I want to have a new minimum. Even though 100 is always my minimum. Every time sometimes I get to 100 and sometimes I do more than 100. But I want a new minimum. And that new minimum now is going to be 110. And then everything afterwards. I'll do planche raises. I absolutely love planche raises. If I'm being completely honest right now, I just did my warm-up set and I really do not feel like training today. Like, I really my body does not feel like training at all. And today's supposed to be a volume day where I gotta do 110. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go ahead and start the sets and just get straight to it, because the longer that I would just sit here, the more time that I give myself to just be in that state. I'm already out here. I done drove all the way out here. I done already did a set. What's the point of me coming out here if I wasn't gonna do it? This is worse. This is worse than just not coming to the park at all. Just like the word talks about, it is better for a man to not know righteousness than to know righteousness and then depart from it. It would have been better for me to just stay at the crib than for me to actually come all the way out here and then quit and give up and go back home. What's the point? So this is gonna be a raw, no fancy editing. I may try something with my color grading to experiment a little bit. I may get like an angle. I wanna try something, right? And I'll incorporate a clip of that, just why not, just to share it. But I want to try and change the background to a sunset vibe, and I will record what it currently looks like now, and then I'm gonna set up the camera where it has a lot of the wider angle, a lot of the clouds showing, and change the background to a sunset vibe for one of my clips and see how it ends up looking. So gives me something else, because as not only am I training myself, my physical body, I also want to train different ways of leveling up with my content, getting different angles, different sceneries, different environments, trying out different stuff when it comes to my content. And this is an opportunity as well. So let's get to it. I'm going to pull out the notebook. I should have a pen somewhere, and going to get active. But what I'm doing is the pyramid method. So I'll do 1, then I'll do 1, 2, then I would, and as you guys can see, when I was doing it all the way up until 4, I would pause a little bit in the middle, but 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, and I'll do that all the way up until 10, and then I'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4. And by the time that I get to 1, doing that is 100, I believe 110 raises, if I'm not mistaken. So I got 6, and then I will go into the next one. Something that I've observed is I have a lot more capacity before I start feeling it in my muscles. I am on the 9th one, and it gives me the room to accumulate a lot more volume, because that's the whole point of today. Today isn't an intensity day. If it was an intensity, I would do way less reps with a lot more intensity. I want to be able to do the movement as often as I possibly can. And in doing so, having more volume, resting, I feel it now towards these 50 reps. I usually, when I first started training this every day, I would start feeling it more around the 15 to 20. To give an analogy of how I train and how I view it and how I look at it, is it's like let's say like a dungeon battle, like a boss battle, boss level. If I am at a current level of level 10, the next boss, of course, would be that level 11 boss. On my intense days, I'm trying to go attack that level 15 boss. Because if you're a level 1 and you go try to beat a level 20 or level 30, level 50, you're gonna lose. Because all it takes is just for one hit. They have so much more power. One hit, all your HP is gone. and it's going to require so many hits just to lower that person's HP a little bit because your attributes are so low. And that's how I look at it with my intense days. I want to attempt to fight that level 15 boss, that next boss level, even if I don't fully achieve it. If I'm getting a couple hits in, that's all that matters. If I'm getting a couple shots at him, that's what those intense days are. The volume days is those side quests, those missions that's going to build up my level, so my body will naturally get to the point where that level 15 boss, I'm going to be able to slay that 15 boss. That's how I look at it. Getting those chips at that 15 boss on my intense days and doing the side quests, accumulating as much of the side quest missions, and doing that, it just raises up my stats. And it's not like huge jumps. Over time, the stats increase. So I'm slowly gonna go, I'm not just gonna jump from level 10 to level 15. I'm gonna go from level 10, I'm gonna go from level 11, level 12, 13, 14, 15. And then when I go attack that level 15, there's that next boss level. And now I look at the next level 20 boss. And that's how I progress. And I keep on doing that over and over and over again with literally every single thing that I do. And that's how I'm training today. through. You know, it's been however many sets. I got 4 more sets left. I still don't feel like doing this. One more. Let's go for it. I'm grateful that the Most High gave me strength to come out here and train today. Because I'm not cutting that out. Using scriptures to keep me on track. Using scriptures when I don't feel like doing it, like the story of Jonah. What happens when God calls you to do something and you're disobedient? What happened to Jonah? Look what happened to Lot's wife when, he said, don't turn around, and she turned around and turned to a pillar of salt. Look at the things that happened to those that were disobedient. And I say, I use that as a lesson. You're only able to experience these things and get these realizations by actually showing up. I would have never had this moment where I realized this if I didn't show up today. That's why I look at it not just as the flesh wants to sin. The flesh wants to fight against the spirit constantly. If the flesh could, the flesh would sleep all day and be lazy all day and live in sin all day. If you give the power to your flesh, then you could live in sin and actually love living in sin, because that's what the flesh wants to do. The flesh just naturally wants to sin. And it gets to the point where you submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. And him fleeing is that temptation that you used to struggle with, it's no longer there. And now Satan has to try other ways, try to get you to open up other doors so he can attack you. In certain spaces, he has the opportunity. Social media is a beautiful example. Because I post on social media, it's a lot more opportunities for the devil to send people my way to get me off my track. And it's a blessing because that gives me an opportunity to be more obedient. That's just a test, to be more obedient, to discern spirits. Because when you're on social media, Satan can send bots, he can send anybody. Not everybody on social media is real. A lot of these accounts are just bots. And There are people out there that literally sit behind a computer because the word says it in Proverbs. The wicked can't go to sleep at night unless they lead somebody astray. There are people out there that will sit behind a computer all day and just create accounts, fake accounts, and just show hate. And that's how they get their fill up, and they make money off of that. And you know, that's how they make a living, because Satan rewards those for doing his will, and God rewards those for doing his will. A few scriptures that I want to leave off with before I go is Matthew chapter 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things should be added unto you. Proverbs 3 and 5, lean not into your own understanding, and all the things that you do, acknowledge the Lord, and he shall direct your paths. And the other one, I don't want to say the wrong where's it at, but it's in everything that you do, whether you eat, sleep, whatever it is, in everything that you do, give glory to God.